You tell him, King Leo, you silly boy.
Oh, welcome to the Lion's Den. So today we got another special guest. It's one of my great friends, Tinsley Whitney. Go to introduce yourself, man.
How you guys doing? I'm Tinsley Whitney. I'm from New York. I am 20 years old, a junior.
So you love anime.
Yeah.
I've heard that you really enjoy anime. When did you really first start enjoying, or know you had a love for anime?
I would say anime has always been a part of my life. I guess you could say I was watching it when I was younger before I really knew what it was for real. Dragon Ball. Yeah, I was watching that. What really, I say when I really got serious into anime was probably around like middle school.
Yeah, because I know you like One Piece. Say One Piece is your favorite show. How you feel about the people that, a lot of One Piece slander that goes around, and people that say, Ace's death didn't really matter, that didn't really change the story, nothing for Luffy. What about, they say One Piece has no depth. How you feel about
This is so good. As someone that's really in One Piece, I just say they need to go and really experience the show for themselves and the anime and the manga for themselves to really get a real opinion on it. You know, I could talk about One Piece for hours, but I'll just say for people that say that One Piece has no depth, it's not really true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, if you say you can talk about One Piece for hours. So if you were the writer for One Piece, tell me step by step of the things that you would have done differently, or the things that you would have implemented into the show or the manga that you yourself as a fan haven't really seen.
I'll say for one, I would do differently. A lot of hype set up around it, and what we got was kind of like, I would say personally, a bit lackluster. I would have changed that differently personally. Oda's really done a good job with the story, right? And he's really built it up in a great way.
Yeah, I mean, well, for me personally, I haven't really watched One Piece. I watched the clips. I kind of look at it from here and there, but I'm not really a big fan of it. If you seen the first episode, we not really a big fan of One Piece on this podcast here, but love all anime and we love all anime as things. So as anime culture is right now, how do you feel like it'll evolve in the future? Like as far as anime being mainstream, non-mainstream watchers watching anime. Non-mainstream, non-anime watchers now watching anime now that it's mainstream. The niche crew that used to get bullied back in the day for liking anime. How do you kind of feel like in the future all of this is gonna
I feel like being that in recent years anime has kind of became like a norm, it's really grew in popularity, not only for people that watch it, but economically. You see it more in stores now. We see it. So it's really, I feel like it's only gonna elevate more, especially with like streaming services now putting it like anime on their platforms, especially with like Disney Plus now getting access to anime. So I feel like the doors are really open now. As far as like OG people that used to watch it, that were bullied for it, new people getting into it, I do feel like that's gonna continue to happen. New people getting into anime that haven't really watched it before. So I feel like that'll continue to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't know anime was getting on Disney Plus though. That's actually crazy. And I know Disney, they are getting their own anime though. It's gonna be about the villain. I don't know if you heard about that. It's gonna be like a high school kind of like a, forget what you call those, but it'll be kind of like on the terms of that, not like a high school DxD kind of thing, but kind of like it'll just be like the villains, kind of like the Descendants kind of thing, but it'll be anime and it'll be like the adult villains.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear about that one. I did hear about that one, but it was pretty interesting. It hasn't really got a trailer or anything, but I hope it gets a manga. That would be pretty cool too. So as far as YouTubers making anime, as an anime fan and as a fan of RDC, Corey Kenshin, and all of them, how do you feel personally about their mangas so far?
We have, meaning that these YouTubers who are into anime, I've seen a lot of them start their own things and like media. I haven't personally read their series, RDC series, Dark Lights, and like Monsters We Make with Corey. But I have heard a lot about it, and I've heard a lot of mixed feelings about it. I do want to check it out so I can give my own real opinion on it. I've heard a lot, especially with like Monsters We Make. I've heard that's been getting compared to like Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, not heavily. A lot of people
Stuff,
online,
like,
yeah,
it's
they've been,
heavily-
yeah.
It's basically Kaiju number 8. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So I do want to read it to really get my own opinion on it. But I'll just say for like anybody starting a series, their first series is gonna be like kind of like it's
Mhm.
most likely you're not gonna do as good as like series later down the line, but it'll give you a basis of like a direction of where you want to take your other ones to go and how you can improve.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I do feel that most of the ones that we saw now.
You read it, right? So like,
Yeah, I have read Monsters We Made. I've actually read Dark Lights.
how do you feel about it?
With Dark Lights, the manga, it was pretty all right. It wasn't bad. It had some parts where it could have been better, but I do feel like that they should kind of hold off on the anime, because I know on a couple of their last videos they were talking about that the company, like the animation companies, got switched, and that, because I think it was with Powerhouse at first, now they're doing somebody else, and the streaming service got switched. They said it was going to somebody bigger than HBO Max or HBO Max. I do feel like they should hold off on the anime. I feel like they should refine the manga and the story more. But my only thing with Monsters We Make is that it is too similar to Kaiju. But Kaiju number 8 has ended, so it's kind of knocks out the competition a little bit, because Kaiju number 8 has ended. It does make way for his, yeah.
You can take it in any direction.
Yeah, it goes whichever way he really wants to take the manga. I mean, it's been getting a lot of hype on social media like Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. It's been getting a lot of hype around it, and I know it anime. I think it was one of the anime conventions. He had a whole booth. I don't know. I think it was Anime NYC. Yeah, he had a whole booth down there for Monsters We Make. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like RDC should heavily hold off on an anime.
I agree.
And they should push more of the manga, because with Dark Light, some parts in the story, it kind of just seems, the pacing kind of does seem a little bit off. It's been a while since I've read it, because they don't release chapters very consistently. But yeah, hopefully they can refine that a little bit more, and then they could
I do agree with
better.
you, especially with like them focusing on like the anime instead of really the manga. Because I feel like when you, not to say like you're setting your goals too high, of course you want to have your series animated, but I feel like when you box yourself into like, oh, we got to get the anime right, it's like it puts you in this mindset of like you have to finish this to get it to be put out in the anime. So I feel like you just sit down and just focus on like developing the world of the manga, fleshing out the characters and the story. And after you have a completed piece, then you can, like, oh, you can get this animated now. Oh, how do you feel about the leakers? Because like for years, manga has been like, people have been taking the scans, putting it on manga websites. How do you feel like these people that started these series? How do you feel about
that? That's a good one. That actually is a good one. Mainly, I mean, I feel like it's a given that you should know, because I mean, even the same thing with video games. Like here recently, I remember we were talking about the ZA thing, with ZA getting leaked because it's coming closer to when it's getting out. So I mean, people are leaking, because I think yesterday I saw on YouTube some guy, Mega Starmie got leaked, Mega Scrafty got leaked, Mega Zygarde got, most of the megas from the game got leaked. Like they all, yeah. So like everything for the game is out now. Because I think the game pre-orders were last night at 12, because the game started the midnight pre-release. And yeah, but the actual game is dropping tomorrow for other people, if you can even get a copy. But yeah, it got leaked. So I kind of low-key feel like that's a given. I mean, your fans are going to support you. And obviously, like, if it's good enough, I mean, somebody's going to pick it up. Like, if they think it'll make them money, somebody's going to pick it up, no matter if they're leaking scans online of your work or whatnot. Like, a company's going to pick it up if they think it'll make them money. I mean, obviously. So I kind of feel like it shouldn't really be too much of an issue. I did see where a lot of Corey's fans were mad, and a lot of like Corey, he was even saying about the league site where he had some where he reported a lot of them and they got taken down. RDC, theirs is kind of behind. Well, Corey's behind a paywall too, but RDC, theirs is behind a paywall on their website, but it's still people still found a way to leak it. Because I know this guy on YouTube, I was watching him and he was like, you know, I'm not going to show the scans because it's behind a paywall and stuff. So if y'all want to see it, y'all got to pay for it. But I don't really see it. I feel like it's kind of a given just for, I mean, because it's going to happen no matter what. 'Cause, I mean, if it's out there, I mean, you know, you have people that want to support it, but some that can't. So, I mean, leaking it is the only way. And I mean, leaguers don't get paid for leaking it. So, I mean, it's just kind of, they don't want to pay for it, but they still want to kind of support you just by seeing your work. So, yeah, I kind of feel like it is a given.
Yeah.
How do you feel about power scaling, though? Because I know we have a lot of power scaling debates. How do you feel about power scaling?
Power scaling is like, so like we love to debate which one will win and whatnot, but I just feel like the whole power scaling it gets to a point where it's like any series we're reading now, it's like we're so locked into this like power scaling mindset. We're focusing on like who can beat other people. You feel me? So it's like I do like it because I've of course love the power scale too, but it can also get really toxic, I'll say.
So you feel about the people that say Baki can go toe to toe with Goku?
That's another, this is another reason why power scaling is toxic, because it's like, one, realistically, that's not happening because the scaling of their series is way different.
With Yujiro being planet level because he stopped an earthquake, him getting struck by lightning, so he's able to tank Kamehamehas and all that. He's able to fight with people on Bleach, All Might, Deku.
That's not happening.
Fight the people from One Piece, Naruto.
Let's say, because we've seen Saiyans blow up planets. We've seen crazy things from Bleach. We've seen all these other characters do literally insane feats, like blowing up mountains and stuff like that. They haven't really done that in the series, so it's like they're not winning. Like,
yeah, I do feel that. I feel like some people, they get too stuck up in the whole power scaling thing, but I do feel like some people, they have their favorite characters. So they're going to argue up and down. Because I remember there's one guy, we was arguing about Death Battle. No, Yujiro versus, it was somebody, but it was some OP character. And they were like, Yujiro will win it because he stopped the earthquake and he got struck by lightning. And like he condense his muscles and the yoga back. And I was like, bro, compared to half of these people, Baki characters ain't doing shit.
They're not.
Them Baki characters ain't doing anything.
Sorry to the Baki fans, but it's like not winning these gauntlets that they're being. I've seen some crazy gauntlets with Yujiro. Like, yeah, it's not.
I got one final question for you though, and this was more kind of a personal one. So, as an anime fan and also an art major here, Benedict, how do you have any ideas to make manga or anime of your own?
Yeah, since we had an idea for a series, it was kind of like typesetting, but most of those ideas I never really continued on with it. So I'd say like later, or like while I'm finishing up here, I do want to like start my own.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. I think a lot. That's why I asked you earlier about what would you have done differently in One Piece. Because I feel like as anime fans, kind of when we see shows, we kind of have our own ideas of how we would make things go if they could go differently. Because for me personally, that Yuvo versus Kurapika fight, I feel like should have went extremely different, but it didn't. So, but yeah, and I do feel like we all have our own creative ideas, and I feel like it's very powerful when we let our own creative flow, when we let it go. Because for me personally, I have a little project I'm working, and hopefully it can get out really soon. But yeah, because I remember we had talked one time and you were telling me about how you had this idea to make this video game, like it had something about dragons and but yeah, in the medieval setting, and it was like dragons. It used to off like this half dragon, half like human or god thing, and then you had to do something to save the world and all this. And I thought that was really interesting and cool.
I actually have been working on like another project with my friends. We're also working on a game, and I did the concept art for it. It's like Finance at Freddy's. We're making like a fan game. Yeah, and we have like our own like story with it too.
Like recently?
Yeah, like over the summer.
Dang, you ain't tell your boy about that. Boy, keeping it low key. Okay, really exclusive, huh? Boy.
But yeah, I haven't really talked about it.
Exclusive. Red tape.
Yeah, so kind of really want to continue doing that. Yeah.
Well, hey, man, we appreciate you for being on the podcast today. I'm going to drop his IG. I don't think he has tits. I'm going to drop his IG in the bio, though, in the description. You guys go give him a follow. And hopefully he can tell us more about that game he's working on. No red tape around it. But appreciate you, bro.